Bill Henshaw here again, friendly local constitutional kook out here in California. And I have more on the way of things on the new agenda here that I've been developing based on Trump being in office now for a couple of months. And things are really changing fast. It's almost too much to keep up with. But this video will be about citizens arrest affidavits. And we have the right to those in a common law judicial court. The problem is you ain't never been in one. They've done away with them all, and you'll learn the reasons for that. Why? Send me an email, unincourt@gmail.com. And we have a right to that from day one. You'll learn that too. Common law trial by jury and habeas corpus at the very least. And yet you never see it in their administrative tribunals. And that's another interesting subject that we'll get into in the next video about who the fucking judge really is, the black-robed bastards. But here you get in there and we can prove, and we can do it constructively. And by the way, even if you've had older cases, this information will be constructively there just as though it was there. Because A, they didn't teach you a damn thing in school either, like they did me all those decades ago about the Constitution, laws, and history of the United States. And B, no attorney in his right mind is going to make any of these issues for you, even if they know them. And odds are they don't. If the law schools haven't been teaching this stuff in 70 or 80 years, maybe, and nobody knows, and yet they have the sworn duty, all the official actors, to be bound by this Constitution and the laws enacted in pursuance thereof. One more, send me an email, unincourt@gmail.com, and I will tell you about my modestly priced constitutional defense document packets and help get you up to speed so you can win your case and maybe do it in the trial court. But you're going to learn we have 4 or 5 things we can be doing simultaneously if we need to. That's what's exciting, and how good of a job those racist framers did back in the day, ordaining and establishing this Constitution. And it's been a big help, and all we have to do is get back to it. And we have a Supreme Court loaded with conservative justices right now that understands exactly what the hell I'm talking about. And we get an appropriate case to them, and I know the lingo they're using here. And that's what it's going to be. We have a right to be there from day one if we need to be. It's exciting, it really is. And best of all, getting my information, you can pass on to your children and your posterity. So they learn very early on. And number one, they make a lot better jurors if they ever get called to juror duty. And by the way, new members of the sovereign body politic today are qualified to serve on any juries. You'll learn more about that one later too. Send me an email, unincourt@gmail.com. And, your children and your posterity will know their rights, and they won't either sign agreements or be forced into agreements without the other side makes a full disclosure of all the terms and conditions of the agreement. And they'll learn, just like you're going to learn, that these corporate bastards don't even exist. They have no standing in our judicial courts, and they might not have them in administrative tribunals either. That's another very interesting question. But it's all in our favor, and it should be. I mean, we're the ones in sovereign body politic. And yes, by the way, that is 3 white male, 21, no apologies. But we get back to where we want to be. Now everybody has rights, including Africans and Asians, at least pursuant to Section 2 of the Northwest Ordinance of 1787 as reenacted by the first Congress. Now you can assert those rights. And it's a huge difference. And this is literally black as white here. Because if we have rights and you have rights, now you don't get 8 law enforcement thugs gunning down Jalen Walker, shooting him 48 times in the back during the course of a traffic stop where they didn't have jurisdiction. And the bastards don't even get indicted for involuntary manslaughter. when every right-thinking person knows they ought to be on death row right now. That's what has to start changing, I should say, and take care of business and prove that we do have enforceable rights. And the good news is now the official actors, especially sheriffs and people like that, that can contact the governor and or the president, who has the sworn duty to see the laws are faithfully executed. A red hot issue in the Supreme Court right now. But we have no known way to enforce it with the governor in your quote unquote state, and you'll learn you're not in a sovereign independent state. Nevertheless, that duty exists, but there's no way currently we have to enforce it. That's what I'm going to teach you how to do, and that's going to shut things down almost as quick as anything else that you can learn. So send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. You know, it's that exciting. And these arrest affidavits, you'll get a template of one, and boy, it's just loaded. I mean, we say it with attitude and with authority, like I do in all of my documents. And you'll learn how good that can be very shortly down the road here. And we'll see as matters continue to occur in the Supreme Court in this term up through the end of June 30th, and as to what we're likely to be looking at. But these justices damn well know it, and I can prove it. And also, I've got the biggest win in history of the U.S. Supreme Court, albeit unofficially, not on the record, but I have it and can prove it. Those six-pack off the street did that. How does that happen when these fucking attorneys don't have a clue what's going on, and they rarely ever get any wins for their clients, especially in criminal cases, quote unquote. But it's that good, and I've dedicated my whole life to doing this. And yes, it's going to be a lot of money for both of us when we make settlements, which is what's going to happen for the time being. But that's great news, and then they're going to be forced to sign documents to change the way they do business, so this doesn't happen again. Even better, and we have that kind of leverage. We're going to learn a whole lot. Send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com, and we can go from there. And you're going to love every second of it. It's what you should have learned back in 8th, 9th, and 10th grades, and maybe even beyond that. But they don't even teach it in law schools anymore, and haven't been for 70 or 80 years. So it's all on our side, and it should be. And the quicker we get started, the quicker we get really good results here. It's that exciting. So remember to subscribe, tell your friends, get the word out. Send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com, and I'll see you at the next video. Thank you.